Hello and welcome back to LFDC University. On this channel, we talk all things passive income and digital design, of course with full walkthrough tutorials so that you never feel left behind. If this is the type of content you're looking for, please consider subscribing down below. My name is Ashley and I am not a six-figure Etsy seller. Bet you didn't expect me to say that, huh? I have spent most of my years all over multiple different platforms doing different things, and I've made my money on other platforms. It's taken me a long time to trust myself and realize, hey, you're actually more of an expert in this field now than a lot of these other people that you're watching videos on. Basically, I wanted to see if I could guru myself with the knowledge that I felt that I already had and the tools and the resources that I have at my fingertips. This is 1 month of implementing a few different things, and I'm going to tell you exactly the types of things I implemented and everything that I did step by step to revamp this shop. All right, so here is my Etsy shop, Last Frontier Design Co., but I had to go up by Last Frontier DC because I wasn't able to snag my actual design business name. But anyway, this is one of my Etsy shops, the one that I have been working on for the month of November. And I don't know how long I've actually had this account. This is the one that I had and I started many years ago, and then instead of starting a brand new shop, I basically just renamed it. So if anybody goes in and sees how long I've been a seller and you're like, only 561 sales, 1, be nice, that's rude. 2, keep in mind that this shop sat dormant for a very long time. It's also been another shop before. So sometimes a shop age isn't always the best indicator as far as, how long they've been selling. Let's go and look at some analytics from last year so that you get a good comparison. Last year, I can't even think of how many times I uploaded in this shop. It was hardly any at all. So I think I haven't looked, but I'm assuming it's going to be a good indicator of how dead my shop really was. Here you can see last year, January to December 2022, I had not even 8,000 visits to this shop. I only had 278 orders. My conversion rate was 3.7%, and I made just barely over $1,000. So my point of showing you guys, it's dead. It's dead. Okay. It's dead. Okay. So now let's go to this year. And we see I've only had $625.30. That's it. All year. All year. But this is what I want you to see. Do you see this? So you saw the one from the previous year, and then January, it basically just stays the same. It's like flat lines, right? Goes up a little bit around August, and then it dips. And then your girl was like, I'm going to revamp this shit. So she does. And look at that. Look at that jump. I mean, really, seriously. Okay. Last year, this time, do you see that jump? No. So it's not just, it's in Q4. It has nothing to do with that in my opinion, because I know the different things that I did in my shop in November, and I know for a fact, and proof is in the pudding, that is what made this jump right here. All right, so here is my shop right now this month. I want you to pay attention to something. 6.2% conversion, okay? Look at this. 3.7. 3.7 for the whole year. Last year, 3.7. So in 1 month, we have fully increased to 6.2% conversion rate. Crazy good, crazy good. As you can read right here, visits increased 115% compared to the same period last year. Amazing, amazing. And we're just starting out. I'm going to keep going on this. I see this being a very successful shop now. In the last 30 days, my conversion rate was 8%. 8%. Revenue in the last 30 days, keep in mind the last 30 days is when I've made all of these changes. The revenue was $275.60. Visits increased 170% compared to the same time period last year. Unbelievable. Now, November 23rd, as you can see, I have 126 visits. So on November 23rd, I had my prices significantly lower. I believe I had a really large sale, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that type of sale going on. So I dropped everything down to 50% off. Now, I sell digital products and they're already really low. These were in like the $2 range. So I'm really not making any money off of this during this time. But what I am doing is increasing my traffic, which was my goal. So I reached my goal. And then what I did is I put everything back to full price. So I did this because I wanted to test. Would my income be the same if I were to put them at full price? And my income is the same. I don't have as many visitors, but the amount of money I'm making remains the same or is above what I was making before. So the goal then would be that I would be able to keep my shop at full price, and then every once in a while I'm going to put it at 50% off, making my products more valuable and more exciting when things go on sale, but not having to keep my shop on a permanent sale. I really want to get away from doing a permanent sale. It's something that I've always done in the past on Etsy, and I just don't feel that it works that well on Etsy for what I'm selling. That's not the case for everyone. I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to Etsy. But for what I'm selling, this seems to be working, so I'm going to keep going with it. I was able to get Star Seller in the month of November, so that you earn it in November, you get to have the badge in December. So again, another really cool thing. I know a lot of people don't think that the Star Seller badge does anything, and ultimately I don't think it does either, except now people are able to search, so they can refine their searches to only look at Star Sellers. So that's one thing that I guess my shop would have above others. And then also to me, it's just like a sense of pride, like, hey, I did that. That's awesome. So something to shoot for. All right, so now let's get to the meat and potatoes. Ashley, what did you do? The first thing I did was I updated my photos, okay? I went and I looked at my competition. We are going to go incognito and we are going to go and look at my competition. Now, I like to do single sublimation items. I'm no longer doing bundles, okay, which is different than a lot of people say to do, but I'm no longer doing bundles. Single sublimation, DTF, PNG files. I don't know. I'm just putting in something. I don't know. So that's a really broad, obviously, because it could be any design at all. So I'm going to go and look at my competitors. Now, my competitors are never going to be the people who are breaking the law, because why would it be? I'm competing with people who are following the rules, doing the right stuff. I'm never going to look at this person who's selling Grinch stuff and assume that they are my competitor. Okay, same with any other copyrighted type of items. So first thing I did was I went studying. Okay, I went and I tried to look at my competition as if I was my customer. Okay, so I have a t-shirt at home, or I have a cup at home, I have a small business, I don't know. My target audience is small businesses or print on demand people, okay? And that was another thing, is I really had to get specific. It's hard to do because you want to say, I make PNG files for whoever wants to buy them. That sounds great, doesn't it? But it's not enough. It's just not enough. And the reason for that is because when you have it figured out, you're going to make these little changes that make all the difference in your shop. And I'll show you what I mean. I decided, you know what? Something I noticed is a lot of these Etsy sellers, okay, let's say we click on this, and I'm just assuming, I have no idea. This might not even be a good example. But okay, 17 people bought this in the last 24 hours. It's obviously a bestseller. I've survived too many storms to be bothered by raindrops. And also this is a very, very cute design. Okay, so going down, digital file usage. If you are going to sell any of my design on a finished product such as mugs, tumblers, apparel, any clothing, please look over the commercial use license below. And then they have a license, and then it tells you all the things that you're allowed to do with this file. And then it says digital files may not be resold, altered, erased, copied in digital format in any way. Okay. So what that's telling me is that if somebody buys this design, which often people will go to like websites like Creative Fabrica, and what they'll do is they will purchase a design, make a few changes to the design, and then resell the design, okay? She's saying you can't do that in any way to her digital file. No. You cannot resell this file. You can't take part of it off, add something to it, and then resell this file. She's saying absolutely not. You may not use this file in any way to change it, to make it something new into a digital file. She's saying no. And now this is the funny thing with Etsy. Etsy, you make your own licensing terms, and that can be great for a designer, but it could also deter people from purchasing from you. But if you go to a place like Creative Fabrica as a business, they're the ones that get to decide the licensing, okay? Same with design bundles. Design bundles gets to decide the licensing, not the individual shops that are selling on design bundles. So people have the security in knowing, hey, I'm going to Creative Fabrica, the license is the same for every single thing that's on here. If I click on print on demand, every single thing that in here is okay to use on print on demand. It's easy, it's quick, they don't have to think about it, and that's why people come to Creative Fabrica or design bundles or other shops like that or other websites like that so that they can have a transparent license and they don't have to stress out about it. So what I decided was I don't want to do that. I want my designs to be just as easy to use as they would be if they were to purchase them on Creative Fabrica. Because in all fairness, you can buy my designs on Creative Fabrica. As a designer myself, it's not fair if somebody buys something off of my Etsy shop and they're not allowed to use it on print on demand, but they can go over to Creative Fabrica, buy my item, and they can use it on print on demand. That's not fair. And it would be really confusing to the people who are purchasing from me. But aside from that, that is something I can do to set myself apart from my competition. Another thing that I did is I looked at their images, and it kind of goes into two different areas for me. I want to like what my shop looks like, and I personally am not attracted to just looking and seeing just an image. Seeing it on a product, I liked that, and I knew that I wanted to implement seeing it on a product. Everyone uses these same images, and so I knew I didn't want to use them. I think they're beautiful. But I can't stand when everybody uses the same mock-up photo. It literally drives me insane, and I instantly don't want to buy. This might not be the case for other people, but I don't find it visually appealing to feel like I have a copy and pasted Etsy shop. I hate it so much. I like that with this, at least when you hover, it changes. That was a really smart way of doing that. That sets theirs apart. I love that. Again, with just a quick little video. I love that. I love how they're showing that on different items. But like, for instance, this specific image with the girl looking to the side and this very normal crew neck, I like, everybody has this, okay? Everybody has this image. This is a perfect example of last year me and years previous me. Bare minimum, just getting it up here, not really worrying about a whole hell of a lot. Move this over here. And then let's move this one over here. I literally compared, okay? I pretended I was the customer, and I'm like, okay, I mean, obviously she's only selling for $1.99, so price is a thing, obviously here. This is a PNG and an SVG, so we're not really changing anything here. She has digital file type. She has two PNGs. I have an SVG and a PNG on this one, which I no longer am making SVGs, just to put that out there. I'm only doing PNGs now because that's what I prefer. Let's see. She has her design right there in the center, right? Like, it's the focus, okay? Other than seeing this design right here, the only other thing that grabs my attention really quickly is her logo, and that's because of the colors, and they pop in a similar way that the design. This is what takes up the most of it, right? Is what you're going to get. On mine, it's like I attempted to do that, right? Because I have it over here showing you that it's a PNG file and this is what it looks like on its own. And then I wanted to show off what it would look like, you know, on a t-shirt, on a little girl, in like a good playing, like, I feel like I had good ideas here, right? And to be fair, this type of stuff worked in the past. It's not working anymore. The first thing that I see when I look at this is this banner down here. Why is it doesn't need to be this big? It doesn't need to say cut file design. It doesn't need to even have SVG and PNG on it. You can, but even if I just took off this banner and I had the SVG and PNG and my logo, that would totally focus my eyes on the design versus the banner down here. And so that was an option that I could do. So instantly I knew I needed to change my pictures, okay? Now over here, one thing I did notice is she does not have any other pictures. So how can I make my listing stand out over hers? Neither design is better than the other. I do feel like they're pretty, I mean, they're both pretty basic text designs. Colors are good. Neither design is anything real special. In all fairness, anybody could make either one of our designs that we have here. So what is one way that I could get mine to stand out more than hers? Well, she is a bestseller, but she doesn't have any more than one photo. So I could have way more photos. So that is one thing I realized, okay, that's how I could beat her, is I could have way more photos. Whether I fill up all the slots or not, I could have all the photos. Then I implement the videos, and I'm already going to be looking better than her. Like, imagine I focus only on this design here. I have video, I have multiple pictures. Even if my pricing stayed the same, I think overall mine would shine brighter. Then what I looked at was title. Okay, so her titles are longer. You know, compare this title here to this title right here. Coolest human cut file little girl shirt. Like, no one is searching for coolest human cut file. I guess they might be searching for a little girl's shirt, but in all fairness, I'm not selling a shirt. Now, what I want to do is I want to look at tags, okay? And what I use for this is I use Everbee. Everbee has been a lifesaver for me. So Everbee is just a Chrome extension. It is phenomenal, and it has helped me so much in making all of these changes, and I'll show you why. I will put a link to a free trial down below, and then also in the cards I will link my Everbee video. I was like mind blown when I first tried this out. Okay, so we are analyzing this listing, and when I do that, what happens is I bring up basically all the inside dirt on this specific listing. So you can see that her revenue is $192. This listing is 7 months old. That's pretty old, but not too bad. You can see the category that she's in. This is something to keep in mind. Craft supplies and tools. Interesting. Then we have her review ratio is 6.31%. Her visibility score is 100%. No wonder she's a bestseller and showing up on the first page. And then her conversion rate is 7.23%. First thing I notice is all are fairly good tags. They are all being searched for, so that's great. A lot of times, especially in my old listings, I'm going to show you in just a second, you will see that nobody's even searching for the tags that I use because I didn't have a research tool. I was guessing. I didn't have a good research tool like Everbee to help me out, but now I do. So it's like now I get like this insider information. I feel like I'm no longer blind. Like I have, instead of just throwing stuff and seeing what sticks, I'm able to like actually see visually, hey, this is going to work for you, test it out. Now the competition on these are pretty high, but some of these are okay, and she's a bestseller, so she can compete. We have to take that into consideration. We can't compete like she can necessarily because we are basically looking at my shop as a brand new shop. But what we can do is we can take certain tags, and the best way to do that would just be to click, and it copies, and you can paste it into your tags. So you can take tags. You can also copy all the tags by clicking copy all. Let's say you love all the tags. You're like, I'm just putting them over here. You can do that. So let's compare this right here to mine right here. Can we just like, I don't even have words. I really don't. So again, this is 21 months old. This has brought in 0 revenue. This has never sold. This has 1 view. My category is art and collectibles, and the reason for that is because most are in art and collectibles, but things have changed, and there are some other categories, as you saw, that you could be listing under for digital products. Then we go down, my visibility score is not even a 0. Everything else is literally terrible. And then we get to my tags. You guys, I am hilarious. I literally put in Last Frontier Design Co. No, nobody's looking for that, honey. Like, nobody's looking for that. It's so obvious that no one's looking for that, but this is something that back in the day, people said, hey, try this. And I was like, okay. But no. I am my own guru. I know some shit now. I am implementing the stuff that I already know, and it is paying off. So, obviously, Everbee says, no, we're not going to use this one. Coolest Human. No one's looking that up. Little Girl Cut File. 117 search volume. NA competition. So, I mean, potentially we could use these 3. Girls shirt cut file, cut files for girls. But I probably still wouldn't. I would probably still find different tags for this. Little girl's shirt. Again, it's not even a little girl's shirt. It's a PNG file. So that's not going to get anybody. Girl's shirt SVG. Look at the competition. 113,000 people. No wonder I'm not being seen. Graphics for t-shirts. Nothing. Cut file SVG. The volume is pretty high, but look look at the competition. SVG files, really? Yeah. Someone's going to type in SVG files and just like this design's just going to pop up. I mean, it's like magic. Gift for girls. It's not even a gift for girls. What was I thinking? T-shirts. I mean, I want to go back in time and like just literally jam a pen in my eye. So just take a little glance at this, just like take a mental picture, screenshot it if you want, okay? And then let's compare it to this. Okay? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. Great. So this is one of my most popular, and this one and I think a couple of my pigs. But regardless, let's go ahead and analyze this listing using Everbee. Just like we did before, you can really see the difference in all the changes I've made and how that's looking in comparison to what we had before. So, and understand all my listings looks like that. All of my older listings look like that I haven't gone through yet. And so any new listing is going to have all this new stuff implemented. But here we are, we have 2 months old. And we have total sales of 42, bringing in $122 a month in revenue, 34 monthly sales, 4 reviews, which is really, really good. I have 42 sales and I have 4 reviews. That's really good. Way, way good for me. 654 views at a 6.42%. That's excellent. Favorites 61, reviews per month 2. I mean, considering it's only 2 months old, that's 2 reviews on this listing a month. That's fantastic. I changed my category. Over to craft supplies and tools. When you go through that, you will see that there is a specific spot for what I am selling. So it's not like I'm putting in a category that isn't relevant, that they just have another category that works for these types of files. My visibility score is 81%. Remember that other one? It didn't even have a 0? Yeah, we're at 81%. And my review ratio is 9.52%. Fantastic. Obviously, we want it to be right at 10%, but 9.52 is super good. And then let's go down and look at our tags. Look how beautiful these look. You guys, I did so much work. I'm just so proud of myself. So on Everbee, you can look and find things that have a good volume of search and a low competition. And that's basically what I did to start out with. And then I plugged in with some others after that. So we have a baby cow PNG. Only has a search volume of 213 a month, but the competition is only 4,200. So I'm only competing with 4,200 people. That's it. And my design is so cute and it looks really great. So chances are they will choose my design over someone else who has baby cow PNG. Then I did baby cow clip art. Again, this looks even better. Cute cow PNG, farm animals PNG, Western Christmas. I added that because, you know, cows, Western. I figured it's kind of relevant. It works pretty good, and Western's really popular. Cow Christmas, again, Western design, gave that a try. I'm not so sure if that's really working, so I may change that later, but I'm not really wanting to fuss with it since right now it's selling really good. We got Christmas clip art, Christmas shirt design, I believe is what that says, sublimation design, Christmas PNG, Christmas design, and Christmas animals. So all of these are excellent tags. And I'm not, well, yes, sublimation design, probably shouldn't have had that one in there because, I mean, look at the competition, but it's relevant and it goes with the other one, so I'm fine with just leaving that the way it is. Remember how I said that I am focusing on licensing being really easy, really transparent? That's one thing that's going to set my shop apart. Well, I made sure that in my description, I don't have a ton of stuff in there because no one ever reads this thing anyway. Okay, but I did have ChatGPT help me with a description that's more bubbly and more like my style. And then I obviously changed a few things around. Licensing information. You're free to use this design for both personal and commercial purposes. Just a heads up, please don't resell or redistribute the design as is. If you choose to resell, make sure you add a little bit of your own sparkle so that it's unique to your style. So I wanted people to know, it's not that I care. If you take these cows and you put some Christmas trees behind them and you want to sell that, go on your bad self. Don't care. But I want people to know that I'm okay with that, but don't just take it and then sell it. Like, that's just stealing. So at least have respect, but they can take this image, they can change it up, they can add some things, they can remove a cow, add a cow, remove a cow, add a pig. They can do whatever the hell they want with this thing. That's fine by me, and they can resell it digitally. Don't care. Doesn't affect me at all. And then perfect for print on demand shops. I wanted to make sure I said that because print on demand is huge, and people who are into print on demand, most of them are not designers, and so they need designs, and I want them to come here. I would rather them go to my shop than I would for them to like go hire someone off of Fiverr or something. So perfect for print on demand shops. This design is all set for your print on demand projects, whether it's tees, mugs, tote bags, or anything in between. I love that because I'm also hitting these keywords within my description and having a description that is focused on like the people that I am trying to reach is really helpful to me. I think that's going to tie in my target audience and it's going to bring them to my page. And then I have a little note from me basically just saying I'm super grateful and thank you and I really appreciate them. And then my refund policy, it's a digital item. So if they download it, I'm not giving you your money back. But of course, I'm willing to help. Yada, yada, yada. The usual. But anyways, nothing else. No like story of how I designed it or like nobody cares. Here we go. So this is my first page. Now, I feel like when I look at this, my eyes go straight to the design. There's nothing distracting about it. My logo, even though it's very brightly colored, it does not take away from the design. It's just there, and that's fine by me. I know a lot of people are all about watermarks and things like that. I don't believe in watermarks for designs. I think it's a stupid waste of time. If someone actually knows how to use graphic software, a watermark is not going to affect anything. Like I could steal any design on the internet right now with no issue. You know what I mean? Like I would never do that, but I'm a professional graphic designer. I could steal a design with a watermark on it and I can use it. It just is not that hard. So anybody who wants to steal something is going to find a way. So as far as my mock-up goes, I didn't want one that everybody else has. And you know what? Nobody has this mock-up. Why? Because I got it by designing it with ChatGPT. So I had a nice little conversation with Chatty, and we came up with different types of mock-ups with this like sweater combination. I love the texture, and when you lower the opacity a bit on your design, it really helps just show off the design, but not take away from the design. So I love that. So next we have my video. It's so simple, but here's why it's cool. So when people go and they hover over my design, it's going to start moving, and it's just one extra thing. I really liked it, and then I basically just did all my Christmas designs using the same exact style. My next image is same thing, but on a lighter colored shirt. Again, I used ChatGPT to help create this mock-up as well. This is something I really wanted to implement. Now, you'll see throughout that I have the same type of background here, And I want you to look at that because I think it's really important to have everything look cohesive, especially since in my shop, I have so many different designs. I don't have a specific design style. Like some people only do watercolors, some people only do alphabet letters, or, whatever it is. I do a lot of different things because I don't know. I like to do a lot of different things. I have ADHD. I like to jump from one design idea to another design idea. Sometimes I want to design in all glitter. Sometimes I want to design, hand-drawn flowers and floral situations. And sometimes I want to make cute little animals. So it changes all the time. But one thing that can make my page look more cohesive is having the same branding and the same type of color scheme, things like that. So that's what I wanted to implement. And this is the thing that I think is missing from a lot of shops that I really think is helping a lot. These days, you buy something digitally online and you hope for the best, but a lot of people don't understand what it's like to a lot of people don't understand high resolution. Having 300 DPI, having an image that is high enough resolution so that people can actually print it and use it on things. A lot of people think, oh, this looks cute on my monitor, but they don't have any background or knowledge in what it's actually supposed to look like, especially those out there using AI and not knowing that you need to upscale those before you just sell them. They're not going to work. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to set myself apart and have a zoomed in picture showing, like I have this little magnifying glass and it's showing the PNG detail. Next, I wanted to show this is how this is going to look. So another thing that I think is going to set me apart is I know that people who create DTF prints out of my design, right? When you create a DTF print, it needs to be mirrored, so it needs to be flipped. Having that knowledge shows that I know how to design for them, okay? And showing that knowledge is showing, okay, here's my design. I flipped the design, and then I put it on a mock-up of DTF printed paper. So they're seeing, let's say you're a person who makes DTF prints, which if you're a small business owner and you're printing these from home, you're either using sublimation or you're using DTF prints or something to that effect. Those are the only two I can think of offhand. And if they see that this design is right there, it's flipped, it's really bright because on DTF, it might be mirrored, but it's still really vibrant. They're going to see that and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, she knows all about DTF prints. That's what I make. So she's designing for me. I'm thinking of sublimation. When you do sublimation, again, the image is mirrored, but sublimation is not as vibrant until you press it. Once you press it, that image becomes really vibrant. But before that, it's really, really like not transparent, but it's just kind of dull looking. And so I lowered the opacity, made it look a little bit more dull. I flipped it around. I showed it coming out of a printer. And I said, create sublimation prints. So if you're somebody who has a sublimation machine, you see this and you're like, oh, they're designing specifically for me. Perfect. And they know all about sublimation. I mean, the design's flipped. Like, this is great. So it just one step further showing them, hey, this person is not just throwing up some PNG file for me to buy. This person really is designing with me in mind. And that's why I think when people see get to know your target audience, I think that this is what I have been missing, honestly, with my Etsy shop. My target audience was always small businesses and crafters, right? But I needed to kind of niche down even more from that. I'm really proving to my audience, I'm thinking about you every time I make a design. And I think that's really, really helping. Again, you can see the same little background. Everything's kind of going together. Next, I put this. Again, the background, everything's the same, still goes with my colors, all of that. This is, I'm a very bubbly, most of my friends would consider me bubbly, cutesy, one of those. That's how people usually describe me. I love pink, I love girly, and I don't know. I'm positive. This is my personality. This is who I am. And I wanted my shop to really just show that, so that I feel friendly and approachable and like they're buying from a tangible human being, not just some random place. That's the difference with Etsy versus some of the other platforms. With Etsy, it has a more personal feel. And though things have changed on Etsy, that is something that really hasn't changed. The people who give that are the ones who are going to succeed in the long run. So right here, I just have, this is a digital PNG design or PNG file. No physical product will be mailed to you. So the reason I do this, if you haven't opened a shop before, is because I'm showing it on a mockup. This could, especially, before, like when I was using keywords like little girl shirt, I mean, it's going to bring somebody potentially that is looking for a little girl shirt, and then they're going to see a girl wearing a shirt. They're going to purchase, oh, $4, that's a great deal, and then they're not going to get anything in the mail. So over time, I have realized you need to be very obvious about that, especially on Etsy, because for a long time digital files were new. Digital files aren't new, but there are still people out there who might look and be like, oh, I'm going to get this sweater with cows on it. It's only $4. Great, I'm going to buy it, without really fully reading what it is. Even though now I've made it very clear, PNG file, PNG file, PNG file. All my tags have to do with digital products. I'm very obvious about it in my description here. And then it's very obvious if you look through my pictures. But then once you get here, it's like further information. This is a digital PNG file. No physical product is going to be mailed to you. And then a cute little image showing a computer with like a cute little check mark, like yay, and then no mail. Very visual, but friendly at the same time. Next. I love this. I think this is very, very cool. I think this is something that everyone should implement in the pictures, because for those who don't necessarily read the description or read the licensing terms and they just want something like, again, quick, easy, hands-free, just like as easy as it could possibly be. That's what I wanted to do. So licensing and permissions, I just went with like the basic questions that I thought somebody might ask. Can I use this for commercial projects? Yes. Do I need to purchase a separate commercial license? No. Can I use this design for print-on-demand services? Yes. Can I resell this digital design as is? No. Can I use this design to create transfers to sell? Yes. So these are the most common questions when it comes to purchasing a digital file. So I wanted to make sure they were really easy to see so people have less and less questions. And I will say that I have had like no questions about licensing, no questions about any of these things since I have put all this information out there. Not one question about that stuff. The only question I have had, honestly, is do you have this specific animal in the Christmas light design? And can you remove the lettering off of this design so that I just have the image? Those are the only two questions I've had in the last 2 months. That's it. And then next is just a thank you for choosing us. And then it's basically that same thing that I have right here. And then I wanted to add a nice little sweet little note, personal from myself. Your life has purpose. Your story is important. Your dreams count. Your voice matters. You were born to make an impact. Keep shining brightly. So I just wanted, I don't know. I like the personal feel. So I think that was really helpful as well. Etsy lets you respond to your reviews now. I don't know how long they've been doing this because I've been so MIA on Etsy, but I respond to every single review now. Before we are done here, I want to show you just an overall of what my shop looks like now. So this is my shop when you are just looking at it. So, you see a nice banner. It looks like I know what I'm doing. I have that I'm making quality graphics for print on demand, small business, and crafting. So people know exactly what I'm doing here. My reviews are 4.8 or higher. I'm a star seller, which makes me look like even more so I know what the heck I'm doing. We are up to 561 sales now. I was in the 300s before, so I think we're doing pretty dang amazing. I put in my announcement, commercial use files for print on demand, small business and crafters. If I do a sale, I put that there. So I have put most of my Christmas designs, obviously, ahead of my other designs. I also went ahead and I adjusted my categories. I think they're categories, right? Categories or sections? Might be sections. Ugh. I'm on a lot of different shops. Anyways, I adjusted these so that they sound more like what people would search for. So holiday tumbler wraps instead of just tumbler wraps. Holiday PNG graphics, masculine tumbler wraps, feminine tumbler wraps, boho tumbler wraps, and these ones I might change, but for now this is just what I've come up with. Grunge tumbler wraps, quotes / sayings graphics, educator tumbler wraps, neurodivergent graphics, pride / equality graphics, affirmation graphics, mom / grandma graphics, dad / grandpa graphics, and occupation PNG graphics. So I can add more of these if I want, and I might change these throughout, but I think it's worth mentioning that I do feel this has made a big difference in making them seem more like something that somebody would search for. That is an idea. Take it or leave it. Some various designs. As you can see, everything just flows better. It's not about my logo per se or who the designer is. It's about the product. And then when they click on it, they're going to learn about me, who I am, what I do, and how I run my shop. Scrolling down, you can see that I've implemented, I put some tumblers in here. On my tumbler designs, I added when they are seamless. Let's see what else. And I want you to know, this is one PNG file selling for $4. They are selling at $4 for one PNG file because they're quality, because not everybody has them. I'm not doing some copy and paste like, oh, everyone has this design, so I'm going to do it over here, but I'm going to sell it for $4. That's not going to work. But these are designs that not everybody has, okay? Not everybody has dragons or these cows wrapped in Christmas lights. 16 people have this in their cart. I have never had people have anything in their damn carts before on Etsy. Like, on my other platforms, for sure. Well, guys, that is it. Those are the different things that I implemented in the month of November to make my shop go from 0 to, I don't know, amazing. I'm just so proud and I'm so excited. I'm proud of myself for realizing, girl, you're guru enough to update and revamp your own shop. You don't have to keep trying to find the secret sauce like you already are the secret sauce. You already know the information. I just needed to trust myself and realize that I already know the goods and I already know what to do. I just needed to implement and basically listen to my own advice. I hope that me showing you the different changes and the process that I went through to make the changes and the changes that I made and proving to you the difference that was created there was inspirational. I hope that if you guys have any questions, you guys will drop them in the comments. I try very hard to answer and respond to every single comment I have. As of right now, life makes it to where I can do that. It might not always be same day. It might take me a week, maybe sometimes even 2 weeks. We are coming off of a holiday vacation, so I will be answering some comments today, but I will get back to you. That is my vow to you guys, to always get back to you. I really hope that I will never get too big for my britches and that I will always be able to put you guys first because you're the reason why I even started this YouTube channel. But I am doing my best. So I hope that you really did get something out of this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big How about a big thumbs up? Not a big thumbs up. That would be great. It's really helpful in the YouTube algorithm if you do, and it helps people find me, and it helps me find the people who aren't needing this content. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.